Take a moment and look at the screen in front of you. Can you prove with absolute certainty that it physically exists? It seems obvious. You can see the light, you can hear my voice, you might even be able to tap the glass. But relying on those senses assumes your brain is currently awake. This text outlines what philosophers call the dream argument. It starts with a simple observation. You often have perceptions while asleep that feel exactly like the ones you have right now. Because dreams can perfectly mimic reality, there are no definitive markers to tell dreaming life and waking life apart. Therefore, it is entirely possible that you are dreaming right now. And if you are dreaming, the screen you're looking at, the chair you're sitting in, and everything you are currently perceiving is false. If we cannot definitively prove we are awake at any given moment, we can't use our eyes, ears, or hands to determine what is absolutely true. The physical senses have to be discarded. René Descartes, a 17th century philosopher, weaponized this doubt by choice. He turned skepticism into a rigorous tool for deconstructing everything he'd been taught. To understand why, you have to look at his world. Descartes lived when centuries of unquestioned truths were being ripped apart. The Protestant Reformation was fracturing religious authority, and the scientific revolution proved ancient models of the universe were wrong. Surrounded by collapsing institutions, Descartes developed a system called methodological doubt. As outlined here, his goal was to create a table of knowledge containing only provable truths. He threw out any belief holding even a fraction of a percent of uncertainty. Discarding the physical senses was only the first step. Descartes realized that even in a dream, logic still holds up. A square still has 4 sides, and 2 plus 2 still equals 4. To find absolute certainty, he had to push his skepticism further. This brings us to the deceiving God argument. Descartes asked, what if an all-powerful being, an evil genius, is actively manipulating your mind? This being could possess the power to alter your logic, making you believe that 2 plus 2 is 4, when in reality, you are being deceived about the basic structures of the world. If an evil genius is pulling the strings, then both our physical senses and our internal logic are corrupted. Every single thing humanity claims to know is wiped away, leaving us at absolute zero. Today, we recognize this concept as the simulation hypothesis. As the summary of the Matrix points out, you could simply be a brain in a vat, floating in space, fed a steady stream of artificial inputs controlled by machines. If every external perception, every memory you hold, and every rule of logic you rely on is coded by a deceiver, is there anything left that is actually true? This is a state of profound existential terror. You cannot prove the earth is beneath you. You cannot prove the sky is above you. You cannot even prove you possess the physical body you think you inhabit. You are free-falling through an intellectual void. Descartes realized that external observation couldn't save him. To escape this trap, the solution had to be an internal truth, something so inherently self-proving that not even a godlike deceiver could fake it. Right at the bottom of that void, Descartes found a logical snag in the concept of total deception. He realized a very simple fact about the mechanics of a lie. The act of being deceived requires a target. If the evil genius is feeding you a lie, there must be something for that lie to land on. You can doubt the sky, you can doubt the floor, and doubt your own hands. But the moment you attempt to doubt that you are currently doubting, you've proven there is an entity performing that doubt. To be deceived, one must exist. This resulted in the foundational axiom of Western philosophy, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Looking at option D here, the meaning becomes clear. It isn't about having a complex personality or a physical brain. It means that the pure, isolated capacity to ponder your own existence is the absolute proof that you exist. You still cannot prove the physical world around you is real, but the existence of your own mind is now a mathematically certain bedrock. With that one truth secured, Descartes began to rebuild his model of reality. But because of how he proved it, reality emerged with a permanent fracture. This led to the creation of substance dualism. Descartes concluded reality is constructed of two entirely different materials. First is res cogitans, the immaterial thinking substance responsible for consciousness. Second is res extensa, physical matter taking up space, operating on entirely separate mechanical rules. Looking at this comparison, you can see how radical this shift was. Ancient thinkers like Plato believed the physical world was a shadow of higher, unified forms. Descartes severed that connection. Because he proved his mind exists without needing to prove his body exists, he detached human consciousness from physical machinery. Defining reality through the lens of individual consciousness moved the anchor of human certainty. It turned the search for truth away from the stars and inward toward the self. Humanity previously sought answers externally. The ancient world trusted the cosmos, and the Middle Ages trusted God. But Descartes shifted this. In the modern era, the ultimate authority for truth moved to the individual. We learned to trust the mind. That 400-year-old framework is why we grapple with artificial intelligence and simulation theory today. We still define our humanity not by our physical bodies, but by our internal awareness. Whenever you prioritize your own intellect over ancient dogma, or demand logical proof over blind faith, you navigate the reality Descartes built from absolute zero.